Now, look, you've written that the Voice referendum was a fundamental lesson in standing for principles instead of vibes. Did the Prime Minister make a mistake telling people to effectively just trust me, bro, when it came to a major constitutional amendment?
Oh, look, absolutely. And look, it's interesting to note the reaction, which on one side, at one extreme is the suki la la reaction that, we're going to fly flags at half mast and, you can have a week off to digest the result. I mean, you can imagine if the result went the other way. Do you think I could have seriously gone to my superiors and said, look, I need a week off to be able to deal with this? I think you can imagine what the answer would have been. So there's that aspect of it, but there's also the fact of the rewriting of history of it. I mean, Albanese, you say, he said, just trust me, bro, on this, and arrogantly went ahead and believed that he did not need bipartisan support to get this across the line. And the other day in Parliament, and indeed in the press conference straight after the result was quite clear, he said, look, the fact of the matter is we didn't have bipartisan support, therefore it's Peter Dutton's fault. So look, and of course the whole idea of misinformation and people like me, we're told we are adopting alternative facts. Well, the facts are the facts. So misinformation is just is left speak for, look, we disagree with you, but we don't know how to argue against you, so we'll just call it out as misinformation.
I think the biggest
sad at a lot of levels.
The biggest misinformation is what you've just said there. To blame Peter Dutton for the no victory is absolute misinformation because, as you quite rightly said, Jacinta Price and Warren Mundine were the ones. Oh, also, I think a special shout out to Lydia Thorpe and Marsha Langton and that communist dude, whoever he was, and Albanese himself did a lot for it. And
Megan Davis.
Exactly. I think that they were definitely the champions of the no cause. But look, is it a bit disingenuous for some of these people in the S camp? They say they care about the plight of Indigenous Australians, who they've never cared about before. And then they turned around and called people like Jacinta Price and Warren Mundine things like coconuts and Uncle Toms and the white help, truly atrocious slurs. Does that invalidate their so-called virtuous vibe?
Oh, look, in the minds of anyone with any modicum of decency, it would. Look, at one level, of course, as you point out, this is puerile, absolutely puerile. But at another level, it's actually pathetic in the true sense of the word. The word, it comes from the Greek word pathos, which means it excites sadness. And this is the saddest part about this whole thing. It's not only has it been so divisive, and it's divided families, it's divided friendships, and the like, but it's also brought out some of the worst things I've seen, and many of us have seen in politics, indeed in public debate. And I think we really have to ask ourselves how it is that so many people who exhibit these traits can now be in senior positions in public life. I think that's the saddest thing about it. And interestingly enough, one other thing I'll say is there are interesting comparisons also with the Republican referendum. I mean, I remember that quite well. And the excuses that were trotted out then why people overwhelmingly rejected it. Oh, look, if you were not educated, you didn't understand civics, so you would have voted no because you didn't understand what it really meant. So the uneducated riffraff,